Igbos and a lot of Nigerians have been consistent. It is only now that a lot of organizations as inter-society is beginning to call them into question, and we need to do a lot to bring the European Union, the International Court of Justice, and other human rights citizens go and other human rights organizations to the know and understanding of what is really happening in Nigeria. As we speak, Nigeria is going into abyss. There is no law, there is no order anymore. Each day you can see what is happening. So, but in terms of Obigbo, I have repeatedly said it, even as we speak, Chief Ezeoke, as we speak, send your journalists to Obigbo. Obigbo is still under siege. You have to drive around. You cannot go anymore from School Road into Obigbo. From the express, you have to go around multiple roads before you're able to get into the Obigbo main town from the other side of the express road going towards School Road. The other Umuebele side is a little bit free. So they are still under siege. They are still being maltreated. Some of them are still paying bribes to be able to access their properties and their goods in Obigbo. So the oppression has not stopped.
Sorry, Mazi Obiokoli, may I interject? To who are they paying this bribe to?
When you, for instance, there was an incident we had, a young man who was shot, was hiding in one of the rooms, and we tried to get him out. We now had to get a police officer from Port Harcourt to drive down there to see how to get this guy out of the place to the hospital. There was a total blockage, and they had to pay people to be able to access School Road in Obigbo and even getting up to the main market, the market in Obigbo. So the siege is still continuing. It's not like Obigbo is now free for you to drive in like you would drive into any other place in Port Harcourt. It is still happening. And I recall speaking to Senator Abaribe. I asked him a question. I said, has the Senate ever tried to find out how many illegal and legal detention centers exist in Nigeria? And his answer was on the contrary. So we don't even know all the secret detention centers that are operating. So we don't even know. All we know is that 109 of them is still in Bida. So we might not even be able to find out all the other ones if they are killed or used for organ donations, which is being a market which is thriving in Nigeria today. Some of our people might be involved in this organ donation. The 3 of them that died, what circumstances, how did they die? Nobody is talking to us, except the witnesses there might be able to tell us if they were poisoned, if they were used for organ donation. We don't know up to today. It hurts me so much when I read everything, and when we get feedbacks and reports from inter-society. Sometimes I find it extremely difficult to understand how we can continue to operate in this sort of country and with this sort of people that treat us with neglect. Again, some blame needs to go back to Nnamdi Kanu and the IPOB, because if this NSAS thing, we stayed away from it. I mean, if Radio Biafra had stayed away from it to a very large extent, I don't think this Obigbo thing would have escalated to this level it did. But because of that involvement and because of that commentary and all the other statements from Radio Biafra, some of these things became a Biafran issue, or rather an Igbo issue or IPOB issue. If it was just left for the Nigerians to deal with their issue, the NSAS project, we were not aware of it. We did not know when the Western people planned it. We did not know when it was executed. We don't know where the money came from. But from nowhere, we got ourselves involved. And any person who is a student of history will know that anything happening with Nigerians, the moment Igbos get involved, it becomes an Igbo issue. We saw that in 1967. We saw that after in 1979. We saw that when just something happened in Belgium, somebody criticized Mohammed and the Igbos were killed. So we have always bared the brunt of any criminality or any incident that happens in Nigeria. I would have expected any student of history to have stayed away from it. I think my heart is heavy tonight, Chief Ezeoke. I can't speak any further, but I thank you so much for what you're doing. Comrade Emeka, may God continue to guide and protect all of you and keep you alive. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mazi Obiokoli. You have eloquently put it. I could not disagree in nothing that you have said that I can disagree with. I completely agree with you. Again, I think we can be wiser. I let Marcel pick up from where you stopped. Marcel, over to you.
Okay. I wanted to make this clear. I do not think anybody should be blamed for the actions of Wiki and Nigerian military. Neither Nnamdi Kanu or anybody. Those people should be held strictly accountable for their actions. There are rules of engagement, and if we are in a small global community, people should be held accountable. Abducting hundreds of citizens to a remote location and raping them massively for 4 months, you can't blame anybody out of it. It's an action that was taken by an institution, and that institution will have to be held totally accountable for that action. So let's not mix things up. And then secondly, I needed to quickly confirm from Emeka, the 3 dead people that was confirmed, was their bodies released to their family? That is one question. Their bodies were not released to their family up to now.
No. How can they release their bodies when they excommunicated the living ones from their families, and their families are not aware of their whereabouts up to today?
Okay, my other question is this: I listened to a lady from that zone. I can't remember her name now. She gave an account of what propped out in Obigbo, saying that it was first a disagreement between the Hausa Fulanis and the Igbos during the NSAS case and all that. No, that story went on. Now I want to ask you, looking at the people that has been released so far, what is the ethnic composition? Does it reflect the 2 regions that was fighting each other, or just one?
I don't think. I think just like I said from the one, what happened at Obigbo was ethnic execution of an ethnic agenda and ethnic cleansing and ethnic profiling. I don't think it has nothing to do with and those atrocities were perpetrated by state actors. There are state actors and non-state actors, but in this respect, they were all perpetrated by the state actors. So all the names that have been located so far, there are 98% Igbos and 100% Christians. And again, let me quickly make a point here. I don't want to know, just like you said, Kevin, you made a very valid point. We don't run a jungle here. We run a process. We run a society. We run a society governed by law, by a set of laws. And including the conduct of the Nigerian army, conduct of the Nigerian police, some conduct of SSS, they are all governed by rules of engagement, code of conduct, ethical conduct, and the laws. Therefore, if there in your state, there was a violent clash between Hausas and the Yorubas, heaven didn't fall. So it's normal. So let nobody try to blame it on. So they said there was a clash misunderstanding between the Hausas and the Igbos. Of course, if there was a clash, the government is there to be able to manage the stop the crash and the quench it as it were. And again, this I also agree with you. I do not think that I was quarreling with the lawyer the other day. If somebody gives you a brief and you are a lawyer and you are going into that brief, there are certain questions you're supposed to ask before going into that. So you don't have to say, because I've been asked to go and do this, you not jump into doing that without observing the ethical rules guiding your profession and what have you. So if Nnamdi Kanu was on Radio Biafra and they lent support to NSAS protest, and we're all Nigerians, we're all political animals, we're all part of this country, and there is no way we can run away. For instance, the number of people, the people that were killed at Lekki, they are composed of 50% Igbos and 50% Yorubas. The same thing applies to the injured one. So we cannot stay by the fence simple because the Nigerian government is persecuting us. We must have to understand the composition of the present government and the motive or intent of the present government of Nigeria. It boils down to the proscription of this thing and use of the word IPOB as a death code against to levy war, unwarranted and unjustified war against Igbo population, which somebody observed here has been happening since 1937 or 1935. So it didn't start today. So I do not think that anybody should blame. Incidentally, it's funny enough, the cost of bringing out these people, from the information I gathered, is the same group we are talking about here. That is why sometimes in most of our publications, we try to single out a paragraph of commendation to the role played by the same Nnamdi Kanu and the IPO leadership of IPO in this respect. A lot of things they have done in the area of assistance and what have you. So that is my submission, just to support what you have just said. Thank you.
Okay, finally, this whole issue seems to have been quieting down, as nobody is hearing about. Nobody heard about it in the country. This is my first time of actually hearing the breakdown. What do you think happened? What is the? Are you not talking to the media, the AIT, the channels, the Punch, all the top, all the? Are you not talking? What's actually happening?
You know, when you want to do struggle in Nigeria, Tochukwu is aware of what I'm saying. Thank God for him who started this Genge media. When he started it, I thought he was joking. But now I see that he is very, very determined. See, my brother, this is a country that is divided heavily or deeply divided along ethno-religious lines. If you want to do human rights activism in Nigeria and you want to defend your people, you want to identify with your people, you must have to be ready to carry a cross, because there will be backbiting, there will be frustration, there will be isolation, there will be attacks, there will be a lot of gang-ups against you, because you are not sounding the language that you are supposed to sound for you to be able to have international linkages, contacts, connections, and what have you. Certainly applies to somebody going into media practice in Nigeria, or somebody engaging in media advocacy or social advocacy using the Nigerian media. So, I mean, the fact we summarize the whole thing into 3 types of violence being faced by Igbos in Nigeria. The cultural violence, that includes the media blacklisting and what have you, by the mainstream media in Nigeria. Then the structural violence, that is exclusion and segregation and what have you. And of course, physical violence, the attacks and killing and the property destructions and things like that. These are the 3 types of violence that have been fundamentally instituted and waged against the Igbo population. So media you are talking about, a lot of water has passed under the bridge in Nigeria within the context of media industries or media practice. I mean, you can't imagine going to AIT. You can't force yourself to AIT except you are invited. You can't force yourself to channels except you are invited, and so on and so on. And a whole lot of interest, vested interest, even in the print media, a whole lot of interest. The immediate past, the chief of army staff was so heavily influential in the print media that whatever thing you write against Nigerian army and what I mean, you count it dead on arrival. But because of the waves we have made, sometimes we manage to get some of these things published in the Nigerian print media, like Vanguard, like Guardian, like Sun, and so, and also small ones, and of course the online media, like this one, Dochku, is anchoring, and the others, like News Express, Elomba, Voice, and what have you, and things like that. So that has been the situation. But to be frank with you, the Obigbo thing has been going viral all over the media. But maybe you are looking out for to see it broadcast or aired by AIT channels and what have you. What is there? TVC and what have you. First of all, you ask yourself who is behind TVC, who is behind AIT, who is behind Channels TV and what have you, and the money involved and a lot of influence and things like that. So you can't just catapult yourself to AIT and start participating in the program, except where you are invited, or except where you have the capacity to have your way, to be able to do that. So, but then we are using what we have to get what we want, and then it is paying off. So it has been all over the media, even the Vanguard and what have you have been, this day. I mean, they have been following the stories and so on and so forth. And lately, a lot of people, a couple of them are still coming to speak or to interview us or ask questions about the development of the incident. That is it.
Thank you very much, my brother. And, I can't thank you enough for agreeing to come and speak to us. As you all know, or on this platform, we are unconventional. Most times we do not speak on those things that the mainstream media do, as we have always had in private conversation. I mean, I no longer want for us to sit back and blame some people saying we are being blacklisted. If someone is blacklisting us, for Christ's sake, we have the tools. We unblacklist ourselves. Yes. Therefore, that's why we are here. We can decide to have this conversation as long as the internet permits. We can decide 3 hours, 4 hours, we pay ourselves. If we go to other platforms, I don't think we can even afford 15 minutes. But here, we can decide as much as we can, and we have to keep pushing out that narrative. I think one of them said here at the beginning, no one can tell our stories better than we do. And in doing that, we tell our story. This is firsthand. On that note, I must, if I take some comments from people watching on the social media handle, especially on YouTube and Facebook, and many of them are asking, how can they help in this legal action? Now, Emeka, I want to push it to you, if that is okay with you, for Inter-Society. If people are saying, how can they help? When it comes to finance, I don't want to get involved because, that's a very an easier platform to blackmail people in our place. But Inter-Society is an organization that runs a legitimate bank account that engages in legitimate engagement in Nigeria. Therefore, I would say, if that sits all right with you as the chair board of director of Inter-Society, would you mind availing those that have been asking on how they can support the work you do in terms of getting we have, I think you said we have 23 women left. 30 just got freed about an hour ago. And we still have about 110 men in detention. So if we put all men together, I think we have about 133 people still in detention. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that. But it used to be 211, then remove 30 from it. 211, yes. You remove 30 from it. It gives you 81.
Okay. So, and that's, obviously there are some legal bills to pay. And incidentally, it appears, but I don't want you to go into details, but it appears from the work you and the lawyers are doing, the state is getting jittery. I saw a photo that was sent to the Njenje Media News desk that on the attempted murder of one of the lawyers that got these people out. Do you want to say one or two things about that without letting too much out?
Yeah, sure. The lawyer was escape assassination. The lawyer escaped assassination because he was giving information from the desk of Inter-Society. So he now acted on that information and that led to discovery of 110 or 109 fresh names, including that one citizen, Ngozi Chibo Elvis. And the lawyer used his tentacles to locate the particular location of the military, the army base. So he went to the army base to confirm the captivity of the 110 persons. They got there and confirmed it. It was on his way back to Abuja from that particular army base between Suleja and Bida, that not more than 20 minutes drive from the base, from the army commando base. It was double cross, and that was how he narrowly escaped being assassinated. So that one is a fact on the ground. And quickly about the issue of help. Yes, George, I agree with you. When it comes to issue of money, we know that it is one of the major challenges, major negative, this thing, I don't know how to put it, with which the Igbo people are knowing today. You know, it is a general belief that Igbo people can't do something for themselves or for the society without asking for cash support or without asking to be paid. And I agree with you in that respect. And the people like us at Inter Society are very, very mindful of who wants to support or who will go and ask for support. But like this Obigbo of a team, yes, we are. It is also important for us to clarify that we are part of it, but we are not. There is inside it we have subdivision of labor. There is aspect that has to do with lawyers handling the matter, and in times of litigation, in times of legal process. Let me use the word legal processes. So Inter Society is not deeply involved in times of legal processes. A lawyer and his colleagues are handling that, and they are in touch with some of our brothers, like I mentioned a while ago. But generally speaking, that incident is a project. It's a bigger project. It's a project that involves a lot of things. The documentation, the research, the investigation, the databasing, the sharing of information, and so on and so forth, the archiving, and the transportation cost and what have you, and so on and so forth. So that makes it a project, a general project. And if anybody wishes to support Inter Society, fine and good. It is a project, like I said, but we are not insisting that we must be paid or money must be given to us for us to be able to do it. Because we have been doing it since December, since November, December, yes, since December till now. If we calculate the monetary worth of what we have done in a market, in open market, it runs into millions of naira. But we are not spending that, even though we need money to do that. We are getting the result. We are doing it according to our own destiny, while the lawyers and his colleagues are also doing their own part on that aspect. So that is the situation report. So I believe that what I can only say is that Inter Society is not only working on Obigbo abductions. Inter Society is also working on general report and documentation on Obigbo massacre.
May I save you? So may I save you from? May I save you from the?
No, this explanation is very important in support of what you just said.
Yes, yeah. I do understand that.
But I'm done. Yeah.
If people are requesting for, if they want to support Inter Society, all that is needed is how to tell them to do that. Obviously not cash. It has to be an account that is linked to Inter-Society, are you able to avail them the account number, which bank, so they can?
There is no problem, but that is why we are making this clarification. So that if you are supporting Inter-Society, you will now know that you are supporting the work of Inter-Society, which includes what is going on in Obigbo and others, like the other day we spoke, and beyond. And the other day we spoke on Olo. I think we already told you. We spoke on Olo version. And so many other issues like that. So the work of Inter-Society is worth supporting. I don't want us to particularize it to Obigbo. It's larger. Our work is larger than that of Obigbo. What is going on in Obigbo? And above all, we are doing that which we are supposed to do for our people, pricelessly. That is it.
Okay. So what is going to happen now, in order that we pin it down, can you please then mention your account, the Inter-Society account?
I think what I will do is, I think what the best way to do it is so that we go to another level is that I don't want us to waste much time on this issue. What we need to do is that if there are people who willingly want to support us, you are the anchor person. So if you direct them, so we can give you the account.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I think on that note, we no longer have.
But it's also what you have mentioned that Obiokori, Mazo Obiokori, that spoke that what you have mentioned that the Igbo Board of Deputies UK did tremendously recently for Inter-Society. So we will continue to appreciate them and others like that. So that's the thing. So there is no harm in supporting us once it is genuine. No problem.
So why can't you tell us the number we can reach, a mobile number or anything? How can we reach Inter-Society?
Oh no, Tochukwu, the number is there. If you want to put it down.
No, you can say it. Probably it sounds better in your mouth.
Okay. 0081. The phone number be?
Yes, 081.
740.
740.
900.
900.
52.
52. Repeat that again.
081.
Yes.
740.
Yeah.
90052. It is also our WhatsApp number.
Okay, so again, for many of you who want to reach Inter-Society,
they can also visit our website. They can also visit our website and see things for themselves. Our website www.intersociety-ng.com. That's our website.
So you've heard that the website is Inter-Society, then the telephone number, both WhatsApp and normal call is 081740900052. On that note, I will say, Emeka, thank you very much for the last an hour, 45 minutes. It has been a pleasure speaking with you to understand what is happening in Obigbo. Now, before we go, I would quickly say, what's your view and what do you think happened in Olu?
Well, what happened in Olu was the same. They have a semblance of the Obigbo army attacks, but the quantum or the gravity of that of Olu is not yet it's not yet commensurate or comparable with what happened. But then the intent is there to by the army to if unchecked to make it look worse than what happened at Obigbo. So the army said that some people attack his personnel and the other personnel of Nigerian security forces, and the army moved in, and the problem we have with the security forces of Nigeria is the problem of unprofessionalism and the crude policing and the soldiering. That is the problem we have. If you are aiming at a target, you say some people attack your personnel. Your intelligence, through interagency collaborations, will be able to raise enough intelligence and through effective crime detection, you'll be able to move in and fish out those people who you said that perpetrated one act or the other, not the point of unleashing their venom or this thing on innocent people. So the summary of what happened in Olo is that where we got angered was when we investigated and discovered that the soldiers left who they say they are looking for and started looking for Christian leaders in Olo, special members of the African instituted churches, and the other innocent souls. And in the end, they arrested over 20-something, if not 33 Christian leaders, including pastors and clerics, and some mentally challenged persons and other innocent citizens, and got them paraded as, in quote, the IPOB stroke ESN terrorists or operatives that are involved in murdering of soldiers in Olo. And we investigated and found out that what they said is not correct. And we issued a statement telling the whole world that look at the caliber of people they went and arrested. That's exactly what happened. If you are conducting your operation, do it professionally. Use all the ingredients of securitization, intelligence, criminal detection, and things like that to be able to apprehend the people you said you are looking for, not to use the opportunity to execute an ethnic agenda. And that is our annoyance. And more quickly, when we also conducted an investigation and found out that, look, the allegation of execution of ethnic agenda is real. The 63 Brigade in Asaba is headed by an Hausa Fulani Muslim. 302 Regiment in Onitsha, Atra Regiment in Onitsha, the same Hausa Fulani Muslim. 34 Brigade at Owerri, the same Hausa Fulani Muslim. 14 Brigade at Ohafia in Abia State, the same Hausa Fulani Muslim. Haba, are we no longer talking of Nigerian army or something else? So that is where the much we can say about Olo, and we are still monitoring the goings on there and what have you. Not only in Olo, I think it involves about 7 local government area, Njaba, Olo, Olu East, and whatever local government, and as well as about 5 or 6 Nnewi South and the Ihialo local government part of Anambra. So that is the situation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a very fine place to leave it. Emeka, once more, thank you for coming on this program this evening. I can't thank you enough. It's been a pleasure speaking with you for the last couple of for over an hour 45 minutes, and you've greatly enriched our knowledge and thrown some insight into what is happening. Because obviously, when these things were happening, many people were confused as to, life lost and people taken. But now, these are no longer mere numbers. These are numbers with names, with faces, and many of them that have been rescued. You've spoken to them, and documentations taken. So these are verifiable individuals. On that note, I will say those watching on all our social media handles, both Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, thank you for joining us this evening. And I will tell us, join us tomorrow, 7 o'clock Nigerian time, 6 o'clock p.m. UK time. We will be having a very fantastic conversation with Mr. Tony Nnadi and Professor Banji Akintoye, who is the leader of the Yoruba World Congress. We will be discussing tomorrow Nigerian Union dispute debates and dialogue series, the impact and the significance of the constitutional force majeure. Now, Tony has been in the forefront of saying that the Nigerian Federation has expired since 2014. He also went further to argue that the component units of the Federation should actually start operating in order to have a total collapse of the system. Now, that is the much I understand about his argument, but join us tomorrow. It's going to be a very interesting time. to have him discuss with the professor, who incidentally agrees with that thinking, that Nigeria is an expired entity, that there are other means to bury the cat. On that note, I will say thank you once more for being our guest this evening. Tomorrow is another day. Join us same time tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Obodo kenenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Kani kenebenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Amadike Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, Odogwu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Ikabugo ndilo yo, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu.